Where's my crown? Long live the king. Oh, I put it there. And I was like, I'll remember it there. You know, whoever wears the crown becomes the king. So somebody could have snuck in here.
Heavy as the head.
Just taking it. Oh, Billy. All right, let's get this show on the road. Three. Oh. No, count me down. Go ahead. I want
to do it with you. I want to do it with you.
In 5, 4,
3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast, Webisode 881, the Arctizult Podcast. MomBrain, would you please tell us about Arctizult? I'm dying to know.
Oh, really? The shaking of its freezing upper half.
That's me. Oh my God, it's me.
Is what generates its electricity. It has a hard time walking around.
That's not you. You.
Not anymore. That's right, baby. I walk every day. I love it. I walk every day.
Mentally, it might be a hard time.
I gotta admit, when I'm looking at my legs when I'm playing video games, because I usually sit with my legs like bent up in front of me, I'm like, look at these muscular, bony legs. It's just two knobby knees. And then, when you're playing a game and the screen goes dark for a cutscene or something, it's loading. When it goes dark and I can see the reflection of myself, I'm like, I look like a bag of bones. I look like a malnourished boy. Like this is horrible. But what? Oh well,
yo, bag of bones.
MomBrain made a comment about it the other day when she was rubbing my back because she could feel my spine. But anyway, MomBrain, please, Pokemon. Very important.
It's 7 feet tall, 330 pounds. The gender's unknown, and the category is fossil. Abilities include static. The Pokemon is charged with static electricity and may paralyze attackers that make direct contact with it. Also, Volt Absorb. If hit by an electric type move, the Pokemon has its HP restored instead of taking damage.
Disney's Volt. Oh my God. You remembered. Good for you.
That's all I can think of when I hear the word Volt now for some reason.
And I'm going to guess you haven't seen that movie, and neither have I.
No, never seen it. Don't plan to.
Not yet. Peace and love.
Well, yeah, peace and love. Not yet.
You never know what's going to happen. One day you're scrolling around looking for something to watch on Disney Plus, and you're like, I would imagine it's on there. Maybe it's not. I got no idea.
I'm sure I've watched worse over the years.
That's probably true. For all of us, not meant to be commentary on you specifically.
No.
Everybody that's watching the podcast, thank you. I know I mentioned last week that we were going to do a podcast on Friday. I didn't really promote this one in advance because I wanted to make sure I got work done. And I went for my walk and I came back and got the podcast ready. So here it is. If you found it, thanks for finding it. Hello, MomBrain and Red Souza and Drake and Microtic, lovely picture of the cat. Nico Darunia, Backseat Studios, the Super Sanchez, Kobun, Popple, Malakalo, Gecko Kitsune, Blood Ocean. Oh, I see you guys in there asking if there was a pod today. Well, yes, there is. Gecko Kitsune, I see your GIF from yesterday of Triple H, which is amazing. Thank you for sharing. Of course, also hello to MomBrain.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm pretty good.
I thought you were going to say you're tired or stressed or whatever, but I'm glad to hear you're pretty good.
I think
You've been great.
Yeah.
You've been A-okay, partner. As we said last week, MomBrain and I are about to head out on vacation. Deux will be keeping an eye on the homestead while we're gone. But MomBrain's been packing and packing and packing all day today.
And interestingly, I have 0 clothing packed.
Well, I'm sure you got important stuff like snacks and
combinations.
We'll get those at Wawa in the morning.
Is the container of candy available?
You want me to bring it?
Yeah, I think you should.
I think I should.
And also hello to Deux. How are you, Deux?
Ooh.
And of course, hello to Josh Grobot, my best friend.
So great. Thanks for asking.
I'm glad to hear. No, that's fine, Josh. Be excited about feeling great. I like it.
Thanks. Very cool.
Very cool. You know who else is very cool? The one and only George.
I don't care.
George, how are you, my friend?
Buongiorno. Very cool.
Whoa! Wow! Whoa!
Friday, George.
Would it be offensive to call George limey? George, would that be offensive?
No, not at all.
George, what happened to your voice
I don't
this
know.
week?
Yeah, what did happen to your voice, George? I don't know.
Oh, there you go.
I guess you forgot what I sounded like.
It's like that. It's like that episode of The Nanny when she eats wasabi at a restaurant, and for like 5 seconds she gets a perfectly normal, clear voice, and then it quickly turns back into her nasally voice.
Man, that Fran Drescher was very talented with that comedy.
She was. MomBrain has brought to the table the container of candy. MomBrain has decided for
Holy
our car
cow.
trip.
Are those little like nerds ropes kind of that are like
Yes.
bites?
Yes.
Yes.
Amazing.
Have at
Well,
it.
have at it. There's Albanese. There's like electrical cords.
So we have an
ropes.
8-hour car trip ahead of us. MomBrain bought like 6 different bags of candy and put it all in one giant container and just let them
I
mingle.
didn't get mixed up real well, so I'm sorry. But
Well, the nerds have infused everything with their flavor. I don't know why, but the
I
nerds
know.
are the strong. Because I've been eating out of there. What are you talking about? Hi, 8-Bit Lego. Good to see. Oh,
I had one.
too spicy.
I had one little thing, and it went down the wrong pipe.
Careful now. Nerds are dangerous because they're little, they're crunchy, and one could go down the wrong pipe instantly. Red Susan says, the nerds are the strongest. The meek will inherit the earth. I love nerds, and I particularly love nerds ropes. So nerds ropes bites. That's the next evolution of a candy. That's a winner. What's
They're
going on with
great.
the old laptop.
They're
here?
great. The texture I want to say is different than a nerd's rope feels, but it's been a while since I had
it's
a nerd's rope.
cluster.
Is that mine or yours?
Yours.
Okay, tell me about it, too.
Me?
Yeah, I want to hear your.
No, I'm saying I don't. It might be just a deep memory that I think I have because it's been a long time since I had a nerd's rope. But just the texture on these seem a little bit softer.
I would agree with that. Yeah, they are softer, which I love a nerd's rope, but I will take a softer nerd's rope. Hello, Carmel Macaron. Thanks for joining us. My Croc says nerds make me feel like my teeth are dissolving by the second. Oh, I mean that's true. That's definitely happening. But what a lovely way for them to go, because nerds are delicious. Nerds is a candy that I've stuck by since a kid and still love just as much. Like they're
Now-
great. I used to pour. Back in the day, I used to pour the whole box in my mouth. You know how you get the box had like the two sides, and
and
I
you
was like, "Not
push
for
back.
me!" And I just ripped the whole top off and poured the whole thing in my mouth.
Right,
But wasn't
that's how
there
you
like
do
a real complicated
Hi, Kufu.
you pulled back a little
I think
tab?
they both
Yes.
had two
Yeah.
little
Yes.
tabs, so you pull 'em
Now, I don't know
and
if
shake them.
I'm making this up in my head or it was real. I remember getting nerds inside of a big plastic nerd.
I do not remember this. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but you should look it up. 8-Bit Lego says, I like the little nerd mascots. They're cute. They remind me of Yoshi. Yes, the little bulbous butt and nosed nerds. Yeah, you're right. Very iconic. Nerds, iconic candy. Wonder when that first came around, because I don't think we know a life without nerds. I think they've been around since we were first born, but I could be wrong. MomBrain's on it. Nice gift, Backseat Studios. So yeah, eating candy. I believe you guys ordered a pizza as well, right?
I did. Mhm.
You're living it
Coming.
up.
And mozzarella sticks because there was a minimum.
Oh, I might have to do some of those. So that's that. I really don't have anything to talk about this week. Normally, I write
1983, according to the Nerds website.
the year after
Wow.
we were born. Wow. We were born in the right
It's like
time.
40
You know,
years ago exactly.
with the with everything going on in the world right now, it's starting to feel like we were born in the wrong time. But now I know we were born in the right time.
We
'cause of
were born
nerds.
in the right time. We're
video games.
Well, yes, of course, but I hate this discussion just because it's just annoying. But like, I also like it because I'm interested. They say that we're millennials, and then we were zennials, and then we're geriatric millennials. Apparently,
Elder
like
millennials.
yeah, like we're like if again, I
We're
don't know.
just millennials.
I
I
feel
know
like
we're-
it's always changing. But like we're like a really really small group, like a 4-year, like what's it called? Not like generation, I
Yeah.
guess. And we can be old and bullheaded, and we can be young and know how computers work. Like we're in that like we grew up before a cell phone when we were outside, but we also played video games and we are accepting of others. Like so we're a very small generation, but I feel like everybody's always like, my generation is the best. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying we are pretty unique, I think.
We ride the edge. Our specific age group rides the edge between some eras. Yeah, and just to point out,
So
apparently,
according,
hold on one second. The younger generation apparently doesn't know how to use computers either. So we are in a very sweet spot for knowing how to use them. We made fun of the old people for not knowing because they never bothered to adapt, but the young people also have bothered. They're not using it.
bad luck. You can't do that.
You can do it.
Oh, you'll have bad luck. Here.
No. It's his own bad luck.
Okay.
It's fine.
I don't want him to have bad luck.
I don't want bad luck either. I could put my hat over there.
Deux was going to put his hat on the table, which is superstitiously bad luck. So MomBrain got very nervous, as you could tell.
I don't want him to have bad luck.
Well, maybe he never knew that, and I'm sure for 39, 40 years of his life, he's been putting his hat on the table.
Things are about to change.
Yeah, maybe.
Things are looking up, baby.
Are you superstitious in any instance other than hats on table?
Jesus, yes, she is. She sages houses and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not saying do it, go nuts. I don't care, but yeah, she said you can't do all your witchy stuff and say you're not superstitious.
Do I know that like it's more like this, like the ceremony of it? Like let's put it this way: if I really didn't like someone and they were going to put their hat on the table, I'd be like, you know, like I know
because
it's not
you'd be like they're going to die.
No, because I know it's not really gonna like. It's the fact that I like care enough to be like, no, don't do that. You're gonna get bad luck. Like,
yeah, but then on the flip side, you would not tell someone you don't like because you want them to be cursed.
Well, on the off chance.
See, that's what I'm getting at. So yeah, you're very superstitious.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Well, it's like the Italian evil eye thing. My mom was
right. The Maloik.
She's always talking about that.
Did you have to do the olive oil situation?
She was
at
telling
Christmas?
me about that. She said that she saw her great aunt do it once and like swears to God it worked. And I was like, that's insane. I mean, the drop of olive oil goes into the water, gets giant, and then gets really, really small, and then disappears.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I was drinking water. Yeah, that's how it works. I mean, I've never done it, but somebody out there is doing it, so I guess they keep things in check. Drake says, any table or diner table? It's any. We subscribe
dinner
to
table.
Dinner. We subscribe to the any table, so just avoid tables
like
altogether.
Side table.
Is it specifically bad luck or is it just impolite?
Bad luck.
I've heard
bad
that
luck.
It's impolite. I just wasn't, thinking that.
I would imagine
I think more of like at a dinner table when I'm thinking of politeness.
I would imagine it would be bad luck at any table, but like uncouth at a dinner table. Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't put a hairbrush on the table. You wouldn't.
That's right. Caramel says flip the table. So if you flip the table when the hat's on it, maybe that undoes it. But also you could flip the table before you put your hat on it because then it's on the underside of the table. So then that cancels it out. It's got to work like that. So as I was saying, didn't really have anything to talk about this week. Usually stuff pops up during the week that I cover before the podcast starts, but there really wasn't anything this week, and I never force things. The only thing I will mention is, as I guess 70 plus million of you know, the Zuck has launched Threads, the new social media platform that is looking to rival Twitter. And in a day and a half, day and a half? Yes, in a day and a half, the platform has managed to amass 70 million users. More than that now. That's my last count from earlier today. But so people are excited for a new social media platform. They're excited to see something that will be managed in a better way than Twitter is right now. Not that Mark Zuckerberg is the best, or we all love Facebook or Meta or any of that, and we're all happy about the data collections. But as far as stability on a platform goes, I think we could all say that Threads is the more stable of the two right now. And surprisingly, even with 70 plus million people jumping on the app day one, it has not crashed. We haven't seen any downtime. There's been no major issues. There's been hiccups, of course, but it's a launch, so it's going well. And why am I talking about this? Because we're on Threads. Some of you have already started to follow me over there, so thank you. It is going to be largely what we do on Twitter. So if you're one of the, I don't remember, 76,000 people who follow on Twitter, if you want to stay on Twitter, we are continuing to do just as we were before on Twitter. We're not changing our Twitter habits at all. That continues as usual. But if you'd like a Twitter alternative, you can come over to Threads. You can find us at GoNintendo Threads, all one word, GoNintendo Threads. And you can see pretty much the same thing, except there's no web client for Twitter right now. So that means when I'm doing GoNintendo and posts go out to Twitter, we have a thing that's automated, basically. I hit one button and it makes the tweet and poops it out. I can't do. Thank you, Super Sanchez. I see that you started following right now. On Threads, we haven't set that up yet because it's brand new, but also there's no web-based version. So I can't do a story, open up Threads on my browser and put together a post. It's just that there's no option for that right now. So it's not possible. So I have to do everything on my phone. So I've been taking a bit of a different approach. You still get the same stories, but I'll get what you call flavor text from me. So on Twitter, the text you get with a tweet is literally the title of the story on GoNintendo. On Twitter, you're getting something a bit, or on Twitter, on Threads, you're getting something more descriptive from me. Maybe a little joke, maybe a little more information, maybe something a little bit more informative than the headline allows. So that's what I'm doing. I'm having fun with that. And also, I'm going to take a more lighthearted approach to it. So I'm dabbling with some memes. I'm dabbling with some open-ended questions. Like I have a question out there right now asking what you guys are playing this weekend. Although I did end up posting that on Twitter because I was like, what the hell? But we'll see how it goes. So if you're just looking for news, you'll get the same thing that you're getting on Twitter. If you're looking for something a little bit different, come over to Threads and hang out. And we'll see how it goes. It's been fun so far. My sister is on Threads if you want to follow her. Now, her content is going to be very different from my content. She is a defender of equal rights and very trying to think of how to say what she is without making it sound like overbearing. I don't think she is overbearing, but I know she's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. You know what? Let me just click on her profile and see what it says. She calls herself TikTok's self-appointed feminist killjoy, smashing the patriarchy one dick at a time. So now you know what her account is like. Go over and follow her if you want to see what she's up to. Her account is KikiMay612, KIKIMAY 612. Or you can just go see who I follow and she's in there because it's my sister, of course. Very honored today. My mother followed me on Threads, so
wow,
the biggest follow you could get. So yeah, that's what's going on over there. Thank you to everybody who has followed. We may change our approach to Threads as time goes on. I don't know. We're in the first week. We're figuring this out as it happens. But it's been fun. I've been interacting more than usual because it's a smaller group, obviously. Oh, that's the thing I wanted to say. So with Threads, you have to have an Instagram account, and it brings your Instagram followers over. And I have an old GoNintendo Instagram account, and it has, I don't remember, 11,000 followers or something like that, 10,000. And I was like, I don't want to force all these people to follow me because everybody's been really hyped about like, I can just bring whoever you have following you on Instagram automatically is a follower on Threads. And I'm like, I don't want to force people to do that. I know they can go in and unfollow. I get it. But I'm like, it doesn't feel right. Plus, I like to build things organically. So I made a whole new account. So if you're wondering why you weren't automatically subscribed, that's why. You have to actually want to subscribe to come over and see what we're up to. So I feel like that's the right approach. Maybe not the best approach for growth, but I'm not about that. I'm just about doing what I think most people will
smash that subscribe button.
Appreciate. And I don't want to lump you in somewhere that you haven't even said you want to be a part of. So there you go. That's that. We'll be doing Threads. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. It's exciting. It's fun. It's a new social media platform. That's all I got for you.
Does Zuck follow you?
No, Zuck does not follow me.
What's his problem?
I haven't gone through my followers, so I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't follow me.
I remember MySpace day one. Tom would follow you.
Tom would have been following. It's true, yeah, but
it wouldn't even be called following. It'd be called friends.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I wonder if Tom is on Threads. Gotta find that out. So there you go. GoNintendo Threads on Threads. Still figuring out the lingo. You start a thread. You make a thread. It's not a tweet. It's a thread, obviously. But what do you call when you repost that? I guess it's just called reposting. I've seen people say
rethread?
rethreading. I said rethread. I don't know if people are doing that. Stitching, because it's sewing related, like a thread, maybe. But stitching is on TikTok. Knitting, I don't know. Where the internet's feeling it out right now.
It's all so exciting.
What'd you say? Mending?
Mending.
Hemming?
We'll just have to wait and see.
That's right, Josh. You're right. So there you go. That's my Twitter, or I'm sorry, that's my Threads spiel. We're done there.
We did it.
Also, no. Also, that's it. We're done. MomBrain? I don't remember what happened in news this week, but let us find out together.
So did I miss the fight between Elon and Zuck for the social media? Is that why they fought in the ring so that whoever won gets to put out a new social media? I haven't been following it.
Did you hear why the fight's not happening?
I didn't. Well, I read something, but I didn't believe it because it was just a stupid headline about someone's mother, and I was like, "That's not true."
Well, then
true?
You read it, yeah. She actually did say that and put the kibosh on it. Now, obviously, Elon is his own man. He could still continue on, but that's the last I've heard. Elon's mother said, "You're not fighting," and Elon hasn't fought. What are these?
He was so good to his mother, sir.
Starburst.
Tiny Starburst?
Yeah.
Why did I do this? I'm doing a show.
I don't know, rather.
I like it because they're unwrapped, so it's like nicer, better for the environment, and like I don't know. I feel like they're easier to like a big Starburst. I feel obnoxious chewing.
I mean, I'll agree with the environmental angle, but I had one, and with peace and love, I prefer the original.
You got to do two, I would say.
Oh yeah.
Now that I'm eating one, I'd say you got to do two.
This is, by the way, a bag of Fave Reds minis.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know you racist Starburst people.
We'll give it another.
I like all the colors of the Starburst rainbow.
So do I.
Why did I do this? I don't want to be chewing in a mic. MomBrain, can you do the first story, please? Let me get it for you. Yep. I deserve it. Did we do this last week? We did do that. I remember talking about that. All right, MomBrain. Here you go. I opened a page for you and everything.
Finally!
Zelda's top developers explain why they enjoy sticking with the series. Quote from
Tell us
Rami
more.
Cowboy,
Tell
the
us more.
franchise that keeps on giving. So Al Newman and Fujibayashi,
There you go.
are of course, the big names on the development team when we're talking about Zelda.
It's so great.
And Nikki Hill keeps sending messages.
Yeah, whatever distraction you got to make up. Anyway, I'm back. I ate my Starburst. So a lot of people are like, boy, poor Al Newman and Fujibayashi. They've been making Zelda games forever. Don't they want to make something else? Well, they were asked that question in I believe it was, it was an RTL News interview. And the two said, nah, we're good. We like it over here. Is this about Spirit Tracks?
No, it's because you were taking over. I wanted it to.
Fujibayashi says, I get that question quite often, but I think that the possibilities with Zelda are endless. I never felt like I was stuck. When I come up with an idea, it doesn't necessarily have to do with Zelda, but later I can still make it a part of a Zelda game because you can really go anywhere with the series. Al Newman chimes in by saying, I get bored pretty quickly. When I play a soccer or football game, I already want to do something else after 5 minutes. But with Zelda, I keep on playing because things like soccer and football are implemented into the game. The games transcend genre conventions, allowing you to put all kinds of different experiences in them. In that respect, I have all the freedom to explore new ideas. I might be stuck with Zelda, but that's not a bad thing. It's a very comfortable place to be stuck. So there you go. They like doing it because they feel they got a lot of freedom within the Zelda franchise to try out new ideas and allow for different genres to infiltrate the Zelda franchise. And we've certainly seen that throughout the history of Zelda games, especially in things like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, the innovation between those two titles is monumental. So yeah, they got a franchise as a place to play. It's their playground, and they can come up with a whole bunch of different games and ideas to implement in that series, and then they build the next Zelda game around that. So I think that's a pretty cool idea. Still, though, I would imagine at some point, I'm sure it's happened a few times, they're like, I wish I could just like start brand new, fresh on something completely different, because I'm sure that would be very freeing.
Well,
Just to have a whole new everything and not to worry about expectations from fans and lore and mechanics that need to be there and all that. You just to make something wholly new, I'm sure that would be freeing.
it's all right here. Fujibayashi is a little too green to say anything yet. So he's like, "Oh, I'm not stuck. I love Zelda. This is great." And then Al Newman goes all through his little puff piece, and then at the very end he's like, "I might be stuck, but I like to be stuck." So he's admitting that he's stuck and that there's nothing that they can do. They're keeping their honor.
I mean, I like how you say Fujibayashi's a little green. The man's 50. Like, he's been at Nintendo for decades now. Compared to Al Newman, yeah. I wonder how old.
Well, this is. You know what? I'm not going to say because I don't think it's true.
I want to hear it.
I was going to say, isn't this the first time that he's been the director, or no?
Al Newman is 10 years older than him.
Maybe not.
I don't know off the top of my head. It's the first time where Nintendo's been like, hey, this guy is a big part of Zelda. It's been Al Newman for, it was Miyamoto forever, then Al Newman forever, and now they're like Fujibayashi. They're like, look, this man is a core part of what makes Zelda Zelda. He has been working on Zeldas for years now. I just don't know his title. So it's nice to see him getting that recognition by Nintendo. And for Nintendo to put him out there, like in the promotional videos and stuff, because usually it's just Al Newman doing that stuff. So moving up in the world, which probably means Al Newman is moving out. That's just speculation on my own part, not anything official.
He says here he feels like he's stuck, so he could stick himself by retiring.
That's right. I'm sure if he was like, "Can I work on something not Zelda related?" They'd be like, "How about on the side you do that?" And
no, they wouldn't let him. They wouldn't let him. I don't think they would.
Joe Shabadoo says, nothing too surprising here. When you give creatives full creative freedom and essentially all the time and resources they need, they'll be sticking around. At this point, a Zelda game can include snowboarding, interior design, racing, bridge building, stealth, battle bots, power washing, and more. Comments like this should confirm to anyone worried that Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom don't represent a new formula. They are linked both spiritually and very tangibly, and should be thought of as one beautiful, mega, epic masterpiece, the culmination of the decade plus of allowing some of the industry's best to spread their wings and soar. The next
game is fun.
Oh, the next new Reggie's on Threads. The next new Zelda game will not be the sequel to Tears of the Kingdom. It might have a few similarities, but will feel massively fresh and novel and new, while still focusing on adventure exploration and puzzling, with the player taking far more of a hybrid protagonist-author role than the legacy games. I mean, Breath of the Wild had some of that. Tears of the Kingdom has a good amount of that, and I wouldn't be surprised to see your statement come true that the next Zelda game really heads in that direction, because it's breathing new life into the Zelda franchise, and we're seeing how people are using that stuff to show their creations online and all the crazy things that they're building and making. So yeah, I would imagine that will be an even bigger part of the franchise going forward. It's been such a hit. They're not just going to ditch that idea for the next game. They'll roll it in with something else. Here's a very juicy rumor for you about the successor
Tasty
to the Switch. So let me start by saying.
Oh my!
Let me start by
God.
Oh,
My God.
This rumor comes from an inside source that certainly seems trustworthy. A leaker named Nash Weedle went on Twitter years ago.
Weedle. Here's a rumor.
Sounds like a wrestler. Coming to the ring from parts unknown, Nash Weedle.
From parts unknown. Nice.
Nash Weedle was on Twitter 3 years ago, and they tweeted about a project that they heard was going to be a new 2D Metroid and they were thinking it was going to be Metroid Dread. Well, that turned out to be true, didn't it?
Oh man, this guy's a regular
That's not
Nash
possible.
Weedle. Pluto Nash.
That guy that made all those predictions.
Jeff Grubb.
Grubb. He's the next Grubb.
I mean, Grubb's still around, but sure.
He fell off.
The thoughts of Doom Michaels are not those of GoNintendo proper.
Yeah, I like Grubb.
So Nash came back and he's sent out another piece of information. And he says, apparently, there's a dev kit out for the Switch Successor. It's out there in the wild. And he claims that a Spanish studio has received the dev kit. So whatever comes after Switch for Nintendo, whatever hardware that is, rumor has it at least one developer has this dev kit in their hands, in their possession. Now, again, he says a Spanish studio. Well, this all ties back to Nash's original rumor from years ago. His rumor was about a 2D Metroid. That did turn out to be Metroid Dread. That was co-developed or mostly developed by Mercury Steam, a Spanish studio that Nintendo has worked with before. Now, 2-3 years later, Nash is saying a Spanish studio has a Switch Successor dev kit. So it certainly seems like Nash has some sort of ties or knows someone or has some sort of connection to Mercury Steam. And it wouldn't be surprising for Nintendo to be like, hey, developers who made literally the best-selling Metroid game ever, we would like you to work on something for the Switch's successor. Here's a dev kit. It makes too much sense. Nintendo has had amazing success with their partnership with Mercury Steam, and you can bet they're going to want to work with that studio again. So, yeah, make sure they have a Switch Successor dev kit nice and early so they can get to work on something big for whatever that system is. Another 2D Metroid, another franchise under Nintendo's umbrella. I don't know. Seems like it would make sense for them to do Metroid because they've done Metroid Return of Samus, Metroid Dread, and those are two proven games. The developer clearly knows how to handle 2D Metroid. So, yeah, go for the hat trick. Why not? Give him another one on the next system. Makes total sense to me. But, again,
Go ahead.
this is all a rumor. So don't take it as gospel. Take it with a grain of salt. But it is a leaker who has been correct in the past. And their leak or rumor here is not so outlandish that you can't believe it. Honestly, it's very believable in my opinion. But
it's not even that
go right ahead, dude.
Juicy of a rumor, right? Like we can, even without knowing it, you can imagine they've got dev kits for their next successor out there somewhere. So that's literally all we know, other than it went to a Spanish company.
We don't know how far along Nintendo is in like their timeline for the Switch successor. So if a third party, this isn't a company Nintendo owns, this is just a third party that they've partnered with. If third parties already have Switch successor dev kits, that's a notable milestone. Yes, it's a company that Nintendo's worked with already, but that's very notable, and it gives you some idea of how far this thing actually is along. We all know the successor to Switch has been worked on for years now, but we don't know like where it's at and who's got the hardware and what we can expect for like, dev kits can be like, here's roughly what we think the system's going to be like power-wise, and we don't have any controllers ready. Build something for this and then retrofit it to the next system. This much more sounds like, here's a dev kit, get to work. So with rumblings of next year being the year Nintendo will pull back the curtain on a Switch successor, you start to wonder, when will this thing actually come out? Could we see it in 2024?
Metroid would be a tough system seller.
Well, yeah, I don't think if it was a Metroid game, I don't think it would be at launch. Well, here's the other thing. A Metroid game could be at launch because it could be Prime 3 or Prime 4, sorry.
Oh, because we don't know for sure if Prime 4 is going to be on the
I really
Switch.
think Prime 4 is going to be a generation straddler like Breath of the Wild was. I think it'll come out on Switch and it'll come out on whatever Switch's successor is. I really think that's going to be the case.
It's a little disappointing for Prime fans after waiting for such a long time to just get a game that can be played on the older system. But, what are you going to do? Sure, it'll be
So
fun.
wait, counterpoint to that. Right now we know it's only Switch. So it would be disappointing to know that it's Switch and also next gen.
I guess it doesn't matter. It's just like you wait all this time for this Metroid game, and then it comes out when a new Nintendo comes out, and it's kind of like, I mean, I can play it, but if they had just timed it differently, they could have done it with, on their next gen hardware. But again, they do their own thing. They don't ever do things for graphics or for any of that stuff, and that's why their games are so consistent.
And again, that's speculation too on my part. We have no idea. It seems like where Metroid Prime 4 is at, and we don't know where it's at, but with how long it's been in development, what we do know is years ago they restarted development from scratch. So the first 2 years of development were just canceled out. So it seems like it would be lining up to be a something that spans generations, but that's my own speculation. We saw it happen with Zelda, so it's not like it couldn't happen with Metroid, and it's a great way to respect Switch owners and give Switch successor owners something new right out of the gate. So I don't know, all speculation, but these are exciting times. 8-Bit Lego has the most upvoted comment, and they say we might be in the beginning of something similar to the NX era we had before the Switch's release. That was a fun time to be a Nintendo fan. It seemed like every day there was some new information floating around, real or not. For as much as I don't like reporting on this stuff, because it's always hard to suss out what's real and what's fake and what's worth posting and what's not, as a fan, it is a very exciting time. You're in that nebulous window where it's like, what could it be? What will it offer? When's it coming out? What's the gimmick going to be? Is there going to be a gimmick? And now on top of all that, we have the Switch is so successful. Are they literally going to do the same idea again, just more powerful? Or are they going to Nintendo it up and do a completely different idea? Are they going to give us a portable system again, but with a new kind of controller? I don't know. We all get to speculate and do guesswork, and all the internet sleuths are jumping around sites like LinkedIn trying to find out what developers have said and where they're working and what they're working on. And all. So, yeah, it's a fun time as a Nintendo fan, definitely.
We'll just have to wait and see.
We will. Moving on. MomBrain. Deux. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
You know what? I'm going to spare you on this one. Yeah, I'm going to spare you on this one and hit you later.
Hit me later.
We have Japan's top 20 most downloaded Switch games during June 2023. I won't do it to you because it's Japan.
Show me Tears of the Kingdom.
So here's your top 20. We'll start with number 20. We Love Katamari Reroll plus Royal Reverie. 19 is Human Fall Flat. 18 is Smash Brothers. 17 Minecraft. 16 Etrian Odyssey 2 HD. 15 Etrian Odyssey HD. So people opted to get those games individually instead of the 3-game package. Interesting. 14 Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. 13 Splatoon 3. 12 NBA 2K23. 11 Animal Crossing New Horizons. 10 Monster Hunter Rise. 9 Breath of the Wild. 8 Master Detective Archives Rain Code. So we got a brand new entry already in 8th place. Good for Rain Code. Number 7, Etrian Odyssey 3 HD. Number 6, Persona 4 Golden. Number 5, Overcooked 2. Number 4, Pikmin 1. Hey, we love to see it. Number 3, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. Number 2, Pikmin 2. Good for you, Pikmin 2. The number 2 game of the month in Japan. That's awesome to see.
Because the sequels are always the best.
And as Deux said, number 1, Tears of the Kingdom. No surprise there. But there's your top 20. Japan has some excellent taste.
T the key.
Sticer says, I hope these Pikmin sales bode well for Pikmin 4's numbers. Pikmin 3 Deluxe was the highest sales of the series. Let's hope Pikmin 4 can beat those numbers. I got a good feeling it's going to happen. Things are looking good.
I got a feeling.
I've seen so many people saying I'm replaying the Pikmin series, getting ready for Pikmin 4, or I'm using this time in between Pikmin 4's launch and now as an excuse to finally play the Pikmin games because 1, 2, and 3 are all on Switch. So it bodes well.
Love to hear it. Love to see it.
We do love to hear it.
Getting the 4th one when it comes out personally. And that's all I care about.
Yeah, I can't wait. Very excited for that. We're what? Less than 2 weeks away.
14 days.
Yep. MomBrain, yes?
Yeah, I thought about that too.
Mm-hmm. Barry's a big Pikmin fan.
Barry loves Pikmin, I bet.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, he loves Olimar and Louie.
Perhaps that was the most important part.
That's right. Perhaps it was. I told this story to do earlier this week. I wish I didn't because it would have been more fun, but here we go. You, if you are an old Nintendo fan, might remember that in the late 90s and the early 2000s, Nintendo did a ton of live action commercials featuring mascots, people in mascot suits. It all started with Smash Brothers, the most famous of those commercials, where a whole bunch of Nintendo mascots were beating the crap out of each other. That was a huge hit. So Nintendo rolled with that through a few years to promote all their games. And it was a very successful line of commercials. We learned that those commercials were the product of Kathy and Tim Lawrence. Kathy used to work in the film and TV industry making props and all that jazz. And then she started doing her own thing outside of that. And Nintendo came knocking. Her husband became a part of the production for these commercials. And he was the person inside a lot of these mascot suits. So you may remember, for example, there was a Banjo-Kazooie commercial where a banjo mascot jumps out of a plane. That was Tim. He literally jumped out of a plane in a banjo suit, plummeted towards Earth, risking his life to promote a game where a bear wears a bird in a backpack. Right? Tom Cruise, notoriety worldwide, billions of dollars by now, I'm sure. This guy, for the love of the game, man.
Yeah, doesn't even show his face.
That's right. Too hideous.
That's how committed to the character. Yeah, they say he's the spitting image of Adam Scott.
Oh,
so
no.
The poor guy,
yikes.
according to RMC,
We don't have
hideous.
to be that mean about it. So, Tim was in the suits. Well, one day he was in the suit for a commercial. I believe it was a Mario Party commercial. And he was dressed as Yoshi. And in the commercial, they had Yoshi flopping around in a pool, or I guess the commercial called for Yoshi to be in a pool. Tim suited up, got in the pool, and he's like, hell yeah, let's do this.
Whoa!
These suits were huge foam creations that his wife, Kathy, made. And I'm not quite sure why nobody realized this, but when Tim got in the pool, not related to Tim Pool, we don't talk about that, man. His suit got waterlogged, and he was trying to swim, and he couldn't swim because of the suit was A, so big and cumbersome, B, was getting waterlogged. So Tim started to sink. Oh, wait, I wish we had the Sonic music on there. MomBrain's looking up something here.
Natalia, the sluice.
Nice,
sure, okay.
Nice, and Barry said it too.
So he's in the pool, and he's like, oh my God, this is bad. I'm going to drown. So he looks to the people.
Dressed as Yoshi.
Yeah, he looks to the people filming the commercial, including his wife, and he's like waving at them to be like, I need help. Well, the crew and his wife all thought, oh, he's giving a thumbs up. He's okay. And they went on to film the commercial until they realized.
And he's okay.
Until they realized, oh, wait, no, this man / my husband is dying. Thankfully, they got him out. They saved the day. He did not die, obviously.
He's like waving at them, and they're like, he is just so in character. Look at him.
That's right.
Go. He's
I've
like
never
Yoshi.
seen someone be more Yoshi-like.
Yoshi does drown when he falls into the water.
He's even sticking his tongue out like Yoshi. So Tim now says, yes, very scary moment, but it's funny. And he said in the interview with Game Informer, he said something along the lines of, not the best way to die, but not the worst way to die if it did happen. So he's got a sense of humor about it. This is part of a big interview with this duo over at Game Informer that's full of all kinds of interesting insight and information about Nintendo working with this couple to make these deals. And they say that Nintendo treated them with like royalty, took very good care of them, but was very strict about making sure the mascots weren't seen in public without their heads on, and were very secretive about who was in the mascot suit and all that, typical weird Nintendo stuff, which is why we love and don't understand. They will never understand Nintendo in some ways, but a really fun interview. Go check that one out. Lucius6 says, okay, they didn't really think of that before. It's already harder to swim with regular clothes on, let alone a mascot costume. Luckily, it ended well. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you would think somebody along the line would have been like, I'm going to throw up a flag here. I don't think this is going to be safe. But maybe they were like, it's big foam. It'll float. He's fine. And it's a pool. He knows how to swim.
You're just misjudging what it's like to step into that suit. There's a feeling of power. There's a sense of power and responsibility, and you just gotta make it work.
That's
Yoshi embodies that, and I think Tim tried to do the same.
Tim literally embodied Yoshi. It's true. Hi, Tent Vision. Hi, Damani. Good to see you guys. Hello, Tall Show. I'm happy you joined us here for this weekend show.
Oh
yeah, there we go. I forgot about you remember? Do you remember this commercial? The live action Animal Crossing commercial, and they did it like the real world. It was a real world spoof,
Vaguely.
but live action. Yep, I very vividly remember that one. That's great. Also, what was her name? Kathy. Kathy said that the hardest costume to make was Pikachu, and that's not the hardest costume to make at a Nintendo mascot. She said it was the hardest costume she has ever made in her entire life. So remember, making props for movies and music, music videos and TV shows, Pikachu was the hardest thing she ever did. So there you go.
That's pretty impressive. I wonder what makes Pikachu so difficult.
She was talking about like the intricacies of the costume as far as like the stripe on the back and the tail and all that. And she was like, Nintendo was also like, this needs to be perfect. Like his stripes need to be a little bit lower or something like that. So hello,
Like
Nintendo.
we've seen those memes of those awful looking Easter bunnies over the years from the 70s and stuff.
Right,
We
yeah.
don't want Pikachu
Nintendo
looking like
wanted
that.
They wanted to avoid that situation. Yeah. All right, MomBrain and Deux. Now I am torturing you.
Oh.
Europe's top 15 Switch eShop titles for June 2023. Hit me with that. Millionaire Music, the Dread one. Yep.
Stressful.
Dread.
Deux, you start this time.
Let's see Tears of the Kingdom, the easy one.
Oh, I typed this out wrong. Tears of the Kingdom is number 1, yes.
And what are we? I'm sorry, I was worried about getting the music started.
I bet you are.
What is the category?
European downloads?
Top 15 Switch eShop downloads in Europe for June 2023. Also, I will do my best here. I'm trying to update the story so that it's formatted properly.
So we're gonna say a Pokemon game.
That's a good guess.
Are you going to be more specific than that, or you just want me
What
to
are they?
take Pokemon?
Scarlet and Violet.
Scarlet and Violet, the lady says, and yes, Pokemon Violet is at number 15. So you are correct. Deux, back to you, Uku.
Uku, Minecraft, Uku.
Oh, good guess. Minecraft. Yes, number 2 for Deux, Uku to you. MomBrain, your guess, please. This is so annoying to do on the phone.
FIFA.
FIFA. MomBrain guesses FIFA. She's thinking Europe,
European.
and she's thinking they have it in the top 15.
They like to kick.
And I will give you the answer in 1 second. I got to see if I redid the story correctly. I did. MomBrain, I'm so sorry. No FIFA. So Deux, you started. So that means you win. Deux did it. You done doed it. Congratulations, Deux. Is there anything you'd like to say to the people?
I couldn't have done it without all of the support of the listeners at home. Thank you very, very much.
Very gracious in your win. All right, so 15-1. We got Pokemon Violet, Super Mario Odyssey, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, Among Us at number 10. Among Us at number 10, MomBrain. Just want to drive that home. Animal Crossing New Horizons, Mario Party Superstars, Nintendo Switch Sports, Stardew Valley at number 6, MomBrain. Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life at 5. Pikmin 1+2 at number 4. People double dipped. Number 3, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Number 2, Minecraft. And number 1, Tears of the Kingdom. There's your top 15 for Europe. Europe, you got some pretty good taste there. Nice job. All right. Thank you for the follow. Martic Oras 2003 on Threads. We found out the release date and the content of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass Wave 5. Your new tracks, your new characters, and release date. You can get this content on July 12th. So next week, very exciting. Here's the 8 cups coming the 8 tracks coming your way in 2 different cups. Koopa Cape from the Wii, Los Angeles Laps from Tour, Moonview Highway from the Wii, Squeaky Clean Sprint. That's a brand new track, everybody.
Very cool.
Athens Dash from Tour, Daisy Cruiser from Double
Daisy.
Dash.
I
One of my
love
favorites.
Daisy
Love
Cruiser.
that track. Sunset Wilds from GBA and Vancouver Velocity from Tour. Your new characters this time around, a threesome. PD Piranha, Wiggler, and Kamek. Again, this is all part of the Booster Course Pass, which will cost you
But I've seen everything.
$25. Again, this is Wave 5. More waves to come.
Man, it's the game that keeps on giving. What a fun game.
Insane
that is.
amount of tracks in it now. Insane. And more to come.
It's so cool because I've been keeping up with them and playing them as they come out, and it's just so great to see when you choose your cup, you just keep going and going. There's so much, and man, they really did it.
Yeah, when all the waves are out, I would love to do online play with friends where we just do the new or the wave packs because I haven't played any of them yet.
They're great. Most of them are great.
Sticer says, this is awesome. All these new courses have renewed my love for this game and brought it back into the rotation with me and my friends. I'm going to be sad when we're all set and done. Don't be sad when it's all set and done because probably we'll be getting a brand new Mario Kart. Not on Switch, obviously, but there you go. Nintendo really stepped it up with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is funny because we got it on the Wii. I'm sorry, we got it on the Wii U. And people are like, I don't want it on Switch, but they were liars because they all bought it. And then years after it comes out, Nintendo's like, oh, here's 48 new tracks. So
it's like a new game now. You can't even compare it. You can't even.
You're right.
It might as well just be the next game.
Here we go. North America. What did we get this week? Let me tell you. Oxenfree 2 Lost Signals comes out July 12th, the sequel to the award-winning mega hit Oxenfree.
Is this like a worldwide release, or is this just coming to the Switch now and it's been out?
Oxenfree
2.
Not out anywhere yet.
Okay, that's exciting, right? Because I've heard the name, and I imagine people have probably been waiting for
I don't
the
know
sequel.
what other systems it's coming to on July 12th, but it's not out yet, and its debut is July 12th. It's probably other systems then too, but Oxenfree was a huge hit on Switch, did really well for the developer, Night School Studio, and this is the long-awaited sequel. We will have a review by launch. I don't know what the embargo is for the review, but we'll have a review day and date with launch.
What rules? you
PS5
sons
for
of
sure,
bitches?
says Nintendo. He's in the know, and I know why he's in the know. And I can say no more. Arcade Archives Cop 01, Bunker 21 Extended Edition, Calculator Maker, My Calculator.
That sounds really fun.
How amazing would that be if you're out to dinner or whatever, and somebody's like, "What's the tip on this?" And everybody pulls out their phone, and you pull your Switch out of your pocket, and you're like, "Hold on, I got the app. Let me do it here. This is my calculator." City Limits, Constellations, Discover the Universe, Family Jigsaw Puzzle, Classic Mosaic Puzzles.
You'd love that, RMC.
Puzzles.
Yeah.
The week of puzzles is
He actually
upon
hates
us.
puzzles.
That's
why
I
he's
said
saying
that.
it.
Yeah.
The week of puzzles is upon me. North Carolina House is Puzzle House. They do at least one puzzle each North Carolina trip, if not more. They did what, 2 last year?
More than that.
But you don't join in on that. You
He'll do like 1 or 2 pieces.
I will very happily sit at the table and talk to people while they're doing it,
Sure.
because I would say it's a given. If people are awake, at least one of them's doing a puzzle. And it's not like everybody's doing their own puzzle. It's like we put out a puzzle and the whole family does the puzzle.
Well, here's and
I
don't
love it.
don't do anything you don't want to do, obviously. But like you're sitting at the table and the puzzle's right in front of you and you're chatting with everyone anyway. You're telling me you can stare at that close to an unused puzzle and not like want to pick or do something? Like
I can, because
you just sit there and you really don't like it that much that you're sitting there looking at it when all you could do is join in and you won't do
My
it.
dislike of puzzles is equal, if not greater, to my dislike of walking. I don't like puzzles at all.
Is it because of something you had to endure as a child, or is this something that
No, not a childhood thing. It's just like puzzles are never comfortable. Like you're always like hunched over a table and you're always like stretching and reaching and like trying to find the right
that I
piece. And
had
you're like,
trouble
oh,
with-
I spent 20 minutes finding this corner. Like,
I had trouble with glare.
you know what else
with
it is for me?
puzzles.
I know the picture. It's on the box. Why am I making it?
Because it's so satisfying to put a piece where it belongs.
Oh, there's that picture. Oh, wait, it's right here. I've been staring at it the whole time.
Well, I'm just saying I'm not saying get a puzzle and do it home alone. I'm saying you're sitting there with your family anyway, and you're like literally right there. You're telling me you don't even look at the puzzle. You're just looking up at them and chatting. Make sure you chat with them.
I'll look at it, yeah.
Well, then it's the same. Like it's the same thing. I feel like looking at a puzzle's way worse than putting a puzzle together.
Not like, you're acting like, or you were asking if like I was averting my eyes from the puzzle. No, I'll look at the puzzle while I'm talking to people, so I'm looking at people too. I'm not like can't wait to see what this image is because again, we all know what it is, but. Yeah, my eyes will glance at the puzzle. If someone says, hey, do you see a corner or whatever, I will help them. I'm not going to be like, no, I hate puzzles. I'll help them look for a piece, but
I'm sure they know by now that you hate puzzles.
I'm not. Oh, they know. They've known
and
for
they
years.
owe you so much for sitting at the table with
But that's the thing. I hate puzzles, but you know what I've done multiple years with MomBrain? We bought puzzles just for them because I love buying them puzzles because they love puzzles so much. We've gone out while we were there and bought
that has
puzzles.
nothing to do with the puzzles. That's just a nice thing that obviously people like to give thoughtful
I
gifts.
want to stress that my hatred of puzzles does not stop me from interacting with puzzles in some way. Like I will help if somebody wants help, or I will give someone a puzzle to do because I'm like, that's what they like. So
the 8-bit Lego posted a fresh new kitten in the Discord.
Ooh, this is gonna cheer me up. Get me away from all this puzzle slander. I really don't care either way about puzzles myself. So
I was looking at the picture now. Hi, Alternus Liz. Good to see. How about a puzzle of train, says Kufu the mummy? Well, thanks, Kufu.
Oh, the 8-bit Lego says, my dad found him very weak at his work. He's a stray.
I will choose not to do that puzzle.
How cute.
Further up. Oh, there we go. Look at that little cute kitten. Oh, my God. All right, back to the list of what's coming out.
The Peep-a-Doo.
Feeble Light. Oh, hi, Piper. She knows we're going away. Full Quiet. Garlic. Gimmick Special Edition. Finally.
We've been waiting.
Finally.
Some of us have been waiting literally since childhood to play this game. You know why? When Gimmick came out on the NES. It came out on the NES in Scandinavia and the Famicom in Japan. That's it. Sunsoft didn't put it out anywhere else. It's been decades. This game is finally out as a special edition on Switch. Childhood raw meat can finally realize his dream of playing this game. He used to look at it in some old magazine. I don't remember what one. And I'd like, this game looks awesome. Can't wait for it. Never came out. Decades went by.
Childhood raw
never
meat
played
cowboy.
it. You know I've listened to the soundtrack because I've sent you the soundtrack.
I was going to mention the soundtrack.
Killer soundtrack. Well, now it's out on Switch, the special edition with rewind and all that, save states and all that good stuff. So there you go.
That's so great, man.
Finally came out.
It's
very
like
excited.
just a different time, you know, back when you couldn't just Google what you wanted or see what you want. You know, you had to get a magazine and pray and look at the same picture in the magazine over and over.
Had two screens, one with the little green guy jumping in the air, throwing his star, and the other one with like a slope and some enemy attacking. And that was it. And I used to look at those two screens and be like, "It's gonna be a killer game, man." And it never came out. Here anyway, but now it did. See, good things come to those who wait. Over 30 years later.
And this special edition, is it? It's not like remastered or anything. It's the original
that's
game.
What I said. I mean, it is HD now, but only because of the platform it's on. But it has save states and rewind
so the
during
quality
gameplay.
of life things, which Daddy do likes.
Not for me. It has borders, different borders that you can use. You can swap control schemes. There's a whole bunch of things. There's a jukebox just to listen to the soundtrack.
Yum yum.
All those little things. So very excited to play that. Feeble Light. Oh no, I did all these already. Sorry. Game Hong Kong Mahjong. Medal of Guardians. MEDAL. Mountain Climb Driver. Real Physics Arcade Racing. Necrosmith.
Gross.
Rainbow Snake.
It's like a new Frankenstein.
Rich Man for Fun. Sand Dream. Sentimental Death Loop. Super Box Delivery Beyond the Horizon. Super Fidos. Swords and Bones 2. Tad the Lost Explorer, Craziest and Madness Edition.
That's
Yep, I know. I thought about it when I posted it last
oh
night.
my god, that's the
The
Beauty Girl movie.
Yep. It's a character apparently that's popular in Europe. So
News popular.
The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Reverie.
My.
Falcom did a great interview this week where they were talking. They were asked about the success of the Legend of Heroes franchise because it was mostly only in Japan, but in recent years it's gotten really popular outside of Japan. And Falcom was like, "We never expected that our franchise would ever find this level of success outside of Japan, and here we are." So cool for them. The newest game is out.
Very cool.
And The Past Within. First comment comes from Turbo K, and it says, "Hello, MomBrain. Very excited for Oxenfree 2. Loved the first one."
Hello.
Yeah, I mean, Nikki Hill played the first one, and I think greatly enjoyed it. So I'm sure he's looking forward to it as
Is
well.
that the one you guys played with the lights?
No, that is Super Chariot. I'll take the Chariot. Do. Can you do the Nikki Hill honors?
I'd be delighted. European Switch eShop releases for the week of July 6th, the year of our Lord, 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Stu Michaels filling in for the one and only Nikki Hill. Nikki Hill, we speak your name. A Tale for Anna. Bruxa. Bunker 21, Extended Edition.
Is that what I sound like?
Calculator Maker, My Calculator. City Limits, Echo Blade. Family Jigsaw Puzzle, Classic Mosaic Pictures.
Love it.
Fastest on the Buzzer. Garlic. Gimmick Special Edition. No exclamation point in that gimmick, I've noticed.
That's my fault. I
Oh.
typed it.
Illusion. The Legend of Heroes Trails into Reverie. Mahjong Woods. Master Detective Archives. Rain Code. It's all in caps, so I figured they were yelling it.
It is in caps. I don't know why.
Medal of Guardians. Necrosmith. Like Frankenstein.
Oh, yes.
That's why I said it the last time. Paintball. Pinball FX. Rainbow Snake. Rich Man for Fun.
Isn't that funny? I don't know what the game is. I didn't look.
It's like a superhero.
RICHMAN, but the M is capitalized as well.
Rich Man for Fun. And the four is like the number
The number 4, yeah.
Man, I like
it, just a 4 and then
for fun.
Yeah.
Rich Man for Fun.
Oh.
Yeah, I like it. I'm interested, but Rifter, Sandream, Sentimental Deathloop, Silent Pause, Sokoball Dreams, The Last Hope, The Lost and the Wicked, Past Within, The Settlers, New Allies, Vision Soft Reset, and last but not least, Zombie Town. And there are no comments.
When you enter the world of Rich Man for Fun, you will find yourself in a property management game full of opportunities and challenges. It's basically a ripoff of Monopoly.
Oh, okay.
That's
There
right.
you go.
So-
You've heard of Monopoly, but how about Rich Man for Fun?
The Monopoly guy, his name is
I
actually
understand.
Rich Man.
Mr. Rich Man for Fun, yeah. Now we know. Thank you, Do. I appreciate it. If you are in North America and you have a Switch Online account, you got your new free game trial. It's summertime. Big sport during the summer, MomBrain, is... Come on, it's the sport of the summer.
Volleyball.
Here in America.
America's favorite pastime.
Baseball.
Baseball. And Nintendo is honoring that by making, well, I should say Nintendo and Sony, MLB The Show 23 from today until July 13th. If you have a Switch Online account, you can play the entirety of MLB The Show 23 for free, or I should say at no additional cost to the Switch Online account. So if you have a Switch Online account, you can go download the full game, play it right now. You can play online. You can play multiplayer. You can play solo. You can do cross-platform play online. So take on your friends on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series XS, Xbox One, all of them. And if you play the game and you're like, you know what, I really like this baseball simulator.
Baseball.
The full game is 50% off until the 16th. So when your free trial ends, you can buy the full game for 50% off. And on top of that, your save data carries over. So it's the best of everything. Thank you, Nintendo.
Bagpipes.
Thank you, Sony. Sony gets a tip of the hat here. It's a Sony game. There you go. We did that. This is
Jeopardy.
Sparta. Now you do one. There's one more.
This is
This is Jeopardy. This is Sparta.
PBS. This
Ooh.
is
Oh, I'll
That's a
take
good
it.
one.
I was
That's a good
thinking Democracy Manifest, but I'll take it.
Well, so is PBS, really.
Wow.
So there's more. Wow, good for
That's
you.
all that came into my head.
That's good. That's good.
And
We're
I can
good, guys.
hear the...
This is amazing. Amazing. The Switch is 6 years old. 6+ years old. Ooh. Everybody was like, oh, this is the Switch's twilight years. We get the Tears of the Kingdom, and that's it. The system's not getting anything else.
What are you thinking?
And then Nintendo's like, hey, how about all these games, plus a
That
remake
is
of Super
not
Mario
correct.
RPG, plus Super Mario Brothers Wonder. And people are like, oh my God, what's going on here?
Please excuse me, I have to swap some laundry.
Well, all that hype has led to something amazing. 6+ years in, the Switch is still setting records, and this is an incredible one. Over in Japan, the Switch has sold 380,000 units in June alone. So again, that's just Japan, just June. 380,000 units of the Switch
What
were
are
sold.
they doing with these Switches? Who does not have a Switch anymore? That's crazy. That's crazy number.
It's a crazy number. For 1 month in the middle
That's
of
what
the
I'm
summer.
saying. It's a crazy number. It was that what, just to get the new Zelda? But like, who the heck didn't already have it for the Zelda?
They couldn't resist now. They bought Zelda on the Wii U, and they've been going Wii U only. Zelda. Yeah, they bought Breath of the Wild on the Wii U, and they
That's-
stayed Wii U ever since.
Maybe.
Well,
All 300,000 of them. No, because the Wii U sold what, 14,000?
14 million.
Okay, that's better.
So that figure, 380,000, is 68% higher than June last year, which is certainly impressive. But here's the most impressive part. The Switch has never had a higher total in June in its entire lifespan in Japan. There has not been a June since the Switch released where it sold more than this June in Japan. 6+ years after the system came out. What world are we in? 6 years later, and it's setting records. The PS5 is out. Sony used to be a big contender over in Japan. It's not like it used to be. Japan is certainly buying PS5s, but they're not supporting PlayStation like they used to. It's crazy. I know Zelda. Well, that's the other thing. Zelda's a big franchise worldwide, but it didn't used to be big in Japan. Now it's big in Japan.
And this is before, I mean, not that this would have happened because of Mario Wonder coming up, but this is before they announced all that, right?
Well, I mean, that would only account for some of the month. Yeah, we're talking about Zelda coming out. The direct announcement certainly helped, but still.
Who doesn't already have one that's getting them now? And it's not like they're on sale or anything. They're still what they've always been, right?
Well, I mean, yes, you're right. First off. Second, I don't want to call you out, but you do own multiple Switch units. So maybe that's what's going on in Japan.
Well, maybe
people are like, for Tears of the Kingdom,
maybe they're buying
that
the special one.
Yeah.
That's what I did. I didn't need it.
That could be the case, but still, 380,000 in Japan alone. There's just people who didn't have a Switch and were like, now's the time to jump in. So there you go. Staggering figure. Sokar says, yep, Nintendo's doomed, all right. Doomed. That's right, my friend. Nintendo is always doomed. Could not get over that stat when I saw it. Oh, I wish MomBrain was here. We have an update on our old pal Yuji Naka, the co-creator of Sonic the Hedgehog. He, as you might remember, and we've discussed at length, was arrested on insider trading accusations.
He's now the guy that can get things for you inside, like Red from
You need cigarettes?
like Morgan Freeman.
He has received, the trial has come to a close, and he's received his sentencing. And here's exactly, by the way, thanks to Cheesemeister 3K on Twitter and Threads for the help on this one. MomBrain, we got an important update. Yuji Naka, insider trading man.
Oh.
The court case is over. Yuji Naka was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison, but he was given a 4-year suspended sentence. So that means he will likely not spend any time in jail. But if he gets in trouble with the law in between, sometime in the next 4 years, he will go to jail to serve out that sentence. So he will be spending his time at home, serving a 4-year suspended sentence. And he also has a fine of $1.25 million. So 4 years probation, basically, not
He's
jail.
heading towards certain death.
$1 million in fines. I'm sure
why
he's
not?
extremely happy he's not going to go to jail, so long as he doesn't get in any more trouble with the law. But $1 million fine, you're hurting.
And where does that $1 million go?
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good point, right?
restitution to Square Enix? I got no idea.
Definitely not.
Legal teams?
No.
Okay. Well, don't ask me and then tell me no. I don't know. Look it up. Look it up. Where does insider trading fines go? You tell me. But you were talking about how is he going to go to jail? Should he go to jail? Now we have our answer. He is not going to go to jail so long as he's a good boy for the next 4 years. But if he's not, then that sentence gets served. Hard time behind bars. So there you go, Yuji Naka.
It's the SEC.
Sonic co-creator and now
I guess it's
potential prison rat, as you were saying. No, that's not a rat. Prison.
Yeah, what is that? What do they call the guy?
It's not a stool pigeon. Yeah, I don't know. A gopher. Prison gopher. Kufu the Mummy says 2.5 years. That's a lot of nights.
Oh, because the Sonic game Nights.
No, the Sega game
Nights.
Also made by Yuji Naka. Yes.
Oh, he made that too.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah.
He should have gone to jail for that. Just kidding. People like
love that game. That was
People
one of
love
the few good games on the Saturn, to my understanding. I never had a Saturn, but Panzer Dragoon was another popular one on the Saturn. Is your phone on this chair?
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna have a poster of Knights up in his cell.
Hard
and then
nights.
late
By
at
the
night,
way-
he's gonna be chiseling away. Yes.
I ordered a pizza at 5:30. It is still not here.
Did they tell you when it's coming?
6:30.
Wow, that's weird.
Any update at all?
No.
Your phone just buzzed?
Yeah, it was the Echo.
And they didn't like just leave it on the front doorstep and we don't know.
I guess I should go look.
Oh, great. It's probably out there. Rained on.
Is it raining?
It was started rain when I was walking. Our final top story, Japan, is we have the data on Japan's top selling games.
Did you want to hear the information I found?
Sure.
Marketplace.org. When it's corporate, which I imagine is no different from not corporate, goes to the Treasury Department. And how the Treasury Department spends the money, quote, isn't specified, according to
talking to the mic.
The Wall Street Journal. Sorry, I was reading.
Well, that's how it works here in America.
But
we don't know about Japan.
Also, some of it's dedicated to, quote, consumer relief, which is aimed at, quote, helping borrowers and funding housing-related community groups.
That's $5, I think.
Yeah, probably. And then other recipients included multiple federal agencies and whistleblowers. The Journal reported there was a, quote, lack of detailed disclosure. Interesting.
Thank you, MomBrain.
You are welcome.
Now go get that soggen wet pizza.
Soggen wet.
Yes, we have Japan's best-selling games for the first half of 2023. These are all games in general. These are the games that Japan has put their money towards, starting with number 15. Again, this is just the first half of 2023, but we're halfway through the year. Time to take a look at what the big games have been. Momotaro Dentetsu, which is a long-running board game series over in Japan. It is number 15.
You know about that.
Well, I do cover Nintendo for the last 20 years.
Train board game.
Sounds like. Was the pizza here?
It sure was.
Nice.
Well, maybe it stayed hot out there, actually, if it's still warm out.
It's going to be spicy. It's going to be good. Resident Evil 4 comes in at 14. And Resident Evil 4 comes in at 13 as well. Mario Party Superstars at number 12.
How did Resident Evil 4 hit 2 spots?
PS4, PS5.
Oh.
Smash Brothers Ultimate comes in at number 11.
It's in the kitchen, dude, if you'd like some.
Oh, thanks.
Number 10, Hogwarts Legacy. Number 9, Fire Emblem Engage. Number 8, Minecraft. Number 7, Nintendo Switch Sports. Number 6, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And your top 5, everybody, selling 360,000 units in 2023 alone.
Splatoon 3.
Good for you. Did you look at this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I thought you were going to ask.
Number 4, selling 373,000 units.
Final Fantasy 16.
Final Fantasy 16, How the Mighty Have Fallen. Disappointing number for them. I know the game's still fairly new, but disappointing number.
Next one's surprising.
Number 3.
Kirby and the Forgotten Realm.
No.
Kirby's Dream Land Course Deluxe.
As long as you make up a fake name for this one, we'll go with that. Yeah. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe is the actual name.
Okay.
So another 500,000 units.
I
Again,
had a bunch of those words in there.
we never see a Kirby game sell less than 1 million units, and here we have almost 500,000 in Japan alone. So there we are. It's I don't know what we're at now. 3 million, 4 million. Number 2, Deux.
Pokemon Violet and Scarlet.
Pokemon Violet Scarlet, 725,000 units. And in our number 1, far and away the number 1,
Please, if you would, Kev.
Tears
RMC.
of the Kingdom, with a whopping, again, Japan alone, 1.7 million units sold.
Wow.
Yes, this is Japan. Yes, you heard me right. Final Fantasy sold 370,000 and Zelda sold 1.7 million. This is Japan. If you told me this 5 years ago, I would have never believed it.
you.
Ever. But there you go. Legend of Zelda doing old Final Fantasy numbers and Final Fantasy doing old Zelda numbers. The world's gone topsy-turvy, but there it is. Again, shows the situation with PlayStation in Japan. Not a big install base for PS5 and not as much enthusiasm as usual for PS5. What would be the franchise to get people to buy a PS5? Probably Dragon Quest, but what have we heard about Dragon Quest? The next one is going to take a more adult approach. Why? Because we need to ruin everything. I don't know why they're doing that, but I'll reserve final judgment for the game itself. But I don't know why they would do that, and I would imagine Japan's not going to be all about that, but we need to see it first. But Dragon Quest is a huge mover in Japan. So if it does come to
see it first.
So if Japan does come, or I'm sorry, if Dragon Quest whatever does come to PS5 and it's exclusive, probably going to be a system mover there. Outside of that, I don't know. You got me. I got no clue what could do it. Hawk says, is Final Fantasy no longer a huge thing in Japan? I know it hasn't been out that long as Tears of the Kingdom, but it used to be that when a Final Fantasy game released in Japan, it was a massive deal. Yeah.
It's weird too, because this one's been getting good reviews. Has it not? Or
it's getting good reviews, but it's really removed everything that Japan would love about a Final Fantasy game. This is more than ever before a Western-focused Western.
I thought he was going to say wet dream.
Wet dream
It's a wet
focused.
dream. A wet dream for Western fans, and Japan.
Western
This game was
fans.
built for Western audiences. That's undeniable.
Howdy, partner.
It's got chocobos.
It's the Final Fantasy.
It's got all the Final Fantasy. It's got all the Final
Call me
Fantasy,
Sid.
summons and all that stuff. But the gameplay and everything else, this was built for a Western audience. So Japan sees that and they're like, oh, well, that's not the Final Fantasy I like. Why am I going to buy that? I don't need another Western game. I want a more traditional RPG. And this is RPG in a very loose sense of the word. So yeah, when you make those decisions to target a completely different audience,
you could lose
this
some,
is
you
what
could
happens.
alienate some.
The game has sold over 3 million so far. So
Still,
I don't want to say that's bad, but
for them.
it's lagging behind the last Final Fantasy game considerably. So
Man,
you gambled, and that's what happens. I respect the decision to gamble on your franchise and to innovate and to try new things, but it's also important you retain what people love about that franchise. Case in point, Zelda. Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild. Still Zelda, more popular than ever. Final Fantasy, the debate right now is this Final Fantasy? So I don't know. And I'm not saying anything's right or wrong here. I've been saying I like the game. Just, I think we can all agree as far as Final Fantasies go, this isn't gonna automatically be what a classic Final Fantasy fan would appreciate or even want, because it's that different. And the series has been getting away from that in the last few years, but this one is as much as a clean break as you're going to get, I think. So
I still got to play that demo.
I was hoping to hear that you played it this
I
week.
wasn't in the mood. I turned it on and played for like 5 minutes, and I wasn't in the right head space for it, I don't want to say that it was bad, obviously, because I didn't give it a shot, but I have to go back and actually try it. So
yeah, I mean, the first 5 minutes, I don't even think you do anything. You might like walk, and it's like, here's how you run, and then that's it.
That's what it was, and I was like, I'm out of here.
Running, forget it.
Walking and running, I'm out of here.
MomBrain.
Yeah.
What have you been playing?
Penny and Flo. And sorry, that was me. Merge Mansion. And that's it.
The big question: will you be bringing your Switch to North Carolina?
Yes, and you'll be packing it.
Will you be playing what?
Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, right. I'll believe it when I'll say, yeah, I'll pack it up. You'll be good to go. Just the Switch, right? No dock or anything. I'm bringing my dock. But...
So, well, I don't need to waste podcast time on it because it has nothing to do with the podcast.
Could you answer my question?
Yes. No, you don't need to bring a dock.
Okay. All right. Thanks, MomBrain. Deux, what have you been playing?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's finally happened. I beat Tears of the Kingdom. And it was bittersweet. What
you are a real
what does a man
hero.
say when he's lost the love of his life?
What can you say that hasn't been said before or felt before?
I fed up with this world.
By the millions who are experiencing this game. So enjoy it, savor it. Those of you who haven't finished it, and those of you who have, like me, don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened.
It did happen, and hopefully we'll be wooed back with some DLC. But yep, it happened.
And I don't play Zelda for the storyline, but I really enjoyed the way it was presented here. I really liked it. And I normally don't care for the voice acting, whatever that style of voice acting is, because I'm always complaining about that kind of stuff. But
style, it's like just voice acting.
The overexcited, not even acting, like annoying talking into the microphone as a character.
I don't think you're inventing that this is a style. It's just voice acting, but you don't care for Zelda voice acting.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was I liked the characters and their voices didn't bug me. Whatever that's called.
You like Ganon's voice?
It didn't bother me. It really didn't bother me, to be honest.
Matt Mercer.
I thought everything that was going on with him was so cool that it didn't really. I wasn't really focused too much on how he sounded. It didn't take me out. I did pay attention to it because I knew it was a big deal, but like it didn't bother me.
There's one. It's not at the end of the game. It's earlier on, but there's one scene where you see Ganon, where like he makes the most over-the-top evil face, where like his mouth gets so like his jaw drops so far and his eyes are so wide. I love it because it's absolutely unhinged. I was like, oh. You're really making Ganon like it's more than just like a big evil bad guy. It's like he's a psycho, like he's psychotic.
Yeah, it was really great. I liked it, and there was a ton of like little chests to find that had nods to the other games. Tons of little armor pieces and stuff. Me and putting on armor and upgrading armor and changing appearances and stuff. So loved all of it, and I was kind of, I mean, if it weren't for that Pikmin demo, I would have been like, I'm done with games. Forget it. I'm out of here. But
games, I don't play games anymore.
But I think Pikmin's going to bring me back when it comes.
The music that I've heard is so good. The Pikmin music.
Oh yeah,
I played
really
the title song for Pikmin 4, which is just a piano piece, but it's absolutely beautiful. So
yeah, I love it.
Good stuff. Good
They
stuff.
know what they're doing over at Nintendo.
They do. They do. I would argue that's why they've been around for so long. But yeah, good stuff.
I did start playing something else. Unless you wanted to say anything else about
go right
Zelda.
ahead.
Yeah. So I was looking through my games on the PlayStation because every time a new game comes out for PlayStation Plus, every month I always kind of add it to my library and then forget about it. So I have like over 200 games in there, and I was looking for something to play, and I downloaded this game called Tales of Iron, with Tales spelled Tails. It's really cool looking game. It's got kind of an art style similar to like a Castle Crashers-esque kind of thing going on. It's like an RPG Souls style game, which is kind of frustrating, to be honest, for me. It's very challenging. A lot of people love the challenge with peace and love. I'm glad that you do. I don't know if this game's apparently only 7 hours long. I've been playing for about 4 hours. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish it. It's getting so difficult for me.
Wow.
That I wanted to go back and put it on easy mode, and I'd have to start the game over. I don't know if I'm even going to do that. So I don't know. I'm just getting a little frustrated. The game has like I don't want to say electrifying. That makes it sound like it's really, really good. But like the game has a great first like 90 minutes. It's really engaging. It looks awesome. The story's great. It's narrated by the guy who voices Geralt in the Witcher 3 series, and he's not even trying to do a different voice. It's basically Geralt doing the narration, which I absolutely love. So yeah, great opening, great atmosphere, a lot of fun to play, and it's like, even though the controls are kind of intricate, and when I say intricate, I mean like it's not like a Mario game where you press the button and he jumps, or you press the button and he throws the fireball. Like there's like an animation that goes into
so
it.
not intricate, like there's like input delay, but
It's kind of like an input delay thing, and there's a
like
lot
your favorite
of
cinematic platformers.
It's not really like that.
I mean, in cinematic platformers, you hit the button and animation plays, and your action. It's like Red Dead Redemption.
It's not even as bad as all that kind of stuff. It's a little different, and like because of the difficulty level, it gets frustrating because you end up having to play like little sections over and over quite a bit, because when you die, you go back to the last place you saved. So like I said, first 90 minutes are like really, really great. Then it kind of gets into this thing where instead of introducing you to new areas and new bits of the story, it's kind of like you have to do this side mission in order to pass the main mission, like to get things to do the main mission. And it was kind of like, why do you even have side missions if I have to do them through the main mission? And the side missions, a lot of them are like, fight this boss, and it's like, if I had to fight a lot of like little guys going up to it, it would be cool, because I find fighting the little guys to be a lot of fun. But like, it's turned into just like, go to this area and fight this boss, and they're areas you've been to, and you're doing a lot of backtracking, and it's not like you're fighting enemies along the way, really. Like you go and you fight the boss, and then you die, so hopefully you saved close, like. So it's starting to lose its steam for me. I really was into it the first day I started playing. Like I said, art style, music, the presentation, the story, it's all done so wonderfully. It's like very dark. The art style is very cute, but it's like dark and gritty, and it's like a Game of Thrones kind of thing with all the violence and like the death. It's I don't know. It's engaging. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to keep going. So I downloaded on a whim. I downloaded Tropico 5 again, and I was like, I won't play it. I'm just going to download it. Yeah, exactly. And I got frustrated with a boss in that Tales game, so I switched to Tropico, and 5 hours later, I was stuck in Tropico, baby, in the Caribbean. So it's amazing, like something like Tropico and like Romance of the Three Kingdoms. I can just, sometimes it's inexplicable. I could sit down for like 5 hours and play, and then I could literally be like, and then just like quit the game and never go back to that particular save. I find more joy starting from the beginning of a new city and building it up rather than getting to either my goal or getting to a part where you're just like, there's I've got too many fingers and too many pies. Can I go back to colonial times when I'm just like, building tobacco plants and selling cigars, But anyways, Tropico 5, some of the best music ever, and fun game. And thank you for listening.
Tropico is definitely not my genre of game, but I have listened to that soundtrack multiple times. Great soundtrack, definitely.
It's wonderful.
Awesome music. Thanks, Deux.
Yeah, thanks for listening. What have you been playing?
What have I been playing? I played more Fortnite. I unlocked the wrestling related emote that's part of this season's battle pass. I'm very excited. You get down on the ground and you count out 1, 2, 3, and then a bell rings. I love it. I've been doing it to everybody, so I'm really happy I got that. But just having fun in general. Lots of always fun in Fortnite. I didn't play too much this week because I was extra busy and I wanted to make sure I was in good shape for leaving and blah, blah, blah. But I did spend some time playing Final Fantasy 16. I'm really enjoying it. I really am. I'm very much having a great time. It's got some issues for me, but nothing that ruins the experience. There's some character animations when you're in cutscenes, when you're talking to somebody for information that are very much, they remind me, they're not anywhere near as stilted, but it reminds me of like Elder Scrolls or Skyrim, I mean, or something like that. Like that, the facial animations just don't match what's being said, and the movements of the character are very stilted. And I'm like, sometimes, you're like, okay, is this an important character or is this not an important character? And you can tell right away when you go to talk to them, because it'll be like somebody that's graphics aren't as good and their movements are very rigid. And then you go to talk to somebody and they're like, they brush back their hair and like their lip syncing is perfect. And you're all like, okay, I'm going to deal with this person a lot.
Right.
So,
this was an actor who had dots all over his body. This is just some algorithm.
But voice acting is really good for the most part. There's one person I don't like, but they're dead now, so it doesn't matter. There's the main character, I think, does a really good job, particularly when he's like feeling strong emotions. He does a lot that like really gets his emotions across, and it's not just somebody yelling. There's nuance to it. I don't know who the guy is, but I think he's doing a great job. I really like him. Gameplay's a lot of fun. I've unlocked a new like I don't know what you call ability set.
Chocobo.
So like you have like just hit with your sword, and then you have your fire attacks with the sword, and now I have
Yoga Flame.
Wind claws, let's say.
Oh, how about it?
But you can switch between them on the fly, and they all have cooldowns, so you can't just keep spamming them. And now when I go up to an enemy, I'll do like a chain attack of 4 regular hits, and then I'll go in with like a dash attack, and then I'll do my 2 big fire attacks, and then I'll do my 2 big wind attacks. And by that time, the enemy's staggered, and I can just unleash a whole bunch of stuff on them, and then my other things rebuild. So it's a lot of really cool, like switching between abilities while you're playing. It makes it fun, but it's like very, very, very much all out action. Like there's no menus here. You're not doing like, it's not anything Final Fantasy as far as most fans would picture it. It's literally run up and hit everybody. I mean, there's more menus and stuff in Final Fantasy VII's remake than there is here. This is all out action. So I'm not saying that's good or bad thing. I'm just telling you my experience with the game. I am enjoying it. It is very weird for me to play a Final Fantasy that's like this, but I'm enjoying it. The area that I got to, there's no big sprawling open areas for me so far. It's a very linear experience, and you just go to dots on a map and it opens up an area.
The old dot map.
It's the area I got to last night was fun to explore. Lots of areas to go to that weren't part of the main objective, and there's treasure chests hiding and enemies to fight. So I really had fun like cleaning out that portion of the map. I'm having fun. I really like it. My time with the game gets better as I go on, and I liked it from the start. So it's a really solid, fun game.
Very cool.
It's just I understand when Final Fantasy fans say it's not Final Fantasy. I get that complaint, and I'm not in a position to say I get that complaint, but I feel like I understand it.
I understand.
There are one of my gripes is the side quests so far, because they're real boring. but I'm doing them because you level up and you get stuff. So here's a side quest I did yesterday. Go out and find this lady for me because she's supposed to be getting soil, and I'm afraid she's getting attacked. So I go find a lady who is, of course, being attacked. I fight off 3 enemies, and she's like, "Thanks, it's pretty rough out here." And your character's like, "Did you get what you needed?" And she's like, "No, I didn't get it because of these guys." And it's like, I'll get the soil for you. You go back home." And she goes, "Okay." And your mission is collect soil. So you walk to like dots on the ground and you pick up soil. And I'm like,
not great.
All right. I guess it's definitely a side quest. And I'm like, it's not fun, but here we are.
I mean, it's 2023. And I've played plenty of games.
It's not fun.
For hours and hours that I absolutely love that have stupid side quests like that. But like, it's 2023. Can we either leave them out, find a different way to level up, or do like the Witcher 3 side quests had amazing side quests that you actually felt like had some weight and some impact to the world.
Either do it that way, the Witcher 3 way, which I admit takes a lot of work, I would imagine. Or how about this? Give me 4 randomly generated dungeons that have certain amount of levels in them, and you can only access certain levels when you are a certain level. So you go floor 1 through 10, randomly generated. You get a treasure at the end of it. Then you can't go to the next randomly generated set of 10 levels until you're level 25. There you go. Levels you up, get your stuff. It's better than I need dirt clods. Like you're going in and exploring dungeons and fighting enemies. It's randomly generated. I think that would be nice. But what am I? I'm not a game developer. I'm a dork. So I don't know. But
Dorcas.
I can say with much assurance that collecting dirt clumps isn't a fun side quest. So there you go.
Why don't you go out and collect dirt
here's
clumps?
the other side quest. I'm in a main town, and this guy's like, "I've made food for the patrons. Can you bring it to them?" And your guy goes, "Yes." And you literally just walk up to people, and you're like, "Here's your food."
Yes, we want the elite soldier to deliver food to peasants. Like,
yes,
give me a break.
And the guy I don't know why the guy at the restaurant can't do it because all the people are like within 100 feet,
right?
So he just won't do it. But I did feel bad because I took food to one lady, and she's a chocobo breeder, and she has to stay like on the outskirts of the town because the chocobos are big, but also they smell. And she's like, "Oh, thanks. I probably wouldn't be allowed in the restaurant to go eat because I smell so bad and I don't want to ruin people's meals. So I'm just going to eat out here with the chocobos." And I was like, this poor lady. And then I'm like, "See you later." So give people food. I've done that twice so far. That's been a mission twice. And dirt clumps has been the other side mission. So not too hot so far.
I remember it was probably Oblivion or something. Lube was playing it at your parents' house or something. And you were just like, "You got to go get those flowers, Lube. Collect those flowers." And now, like,
root.
Collecting flowers sounds way more interesting than collecting dirt piles.
Literally dirt piles, yeah. And you don't even have to look for them because they're all marked with icons on the ground. So it's just like walk, pick it up, walk, pick it up, and that's it.
Man, you feel like you're wasting time with that.
I mean, I'm doing it because they're easy and they level you up. But yeah, eventually when it's round 4 of deliver the food for me, I'm going to be like, "You get it to them. I'm done here." So. But outside of that, having a lot of fun. Music, again, is fantastic.
Music.
The battle scenes. The battles do it's not new, but I like how it's done. Majority of the battle you're fighting, then like there's like they keep like a tempo or a pace with the battles where like it'll go into a cutscene and you'll see some cool stuff happen. And then it's a quick time thing. Hit this button or hit this button, and you get a little bonus for doing it right. And then it transitions back into regular battles. So I like how it does that. Makes it more cinematic and it's fun. But boy, the music does a great job of heightening the battles. Like the battle theme in general is really good. But the music during boss battles really kicks it up. And then you get, like a whole chorus of people singing while you're like jumping through the air and swinging at people. And I'm like, this feels awesome. So
I got
really cool. I got music, that's right. So yeah, I'm very much enjoying it. This is how much I'm enjoying it. I always bring my Switch on vacation 100% of the time. For the last 6 years, I brought my Switch. I was like, should I bring the PS5? I really would like to play this more, but I'm like, it's too big. So I'm not going to bring it. But I thought about bringing it. So
that's not possible.
Right. It's not possible. We don't have room for it in the car.
It's not going to happen.
We have questions. Send your questions to GoNintPod@gmail.com.
Where?
GoNintPod@gmail.com. They can be about Nintendo video games in general, whatever the hell. you want.
Hey, before you do that, we doing music?
Why wouldn't we?
I don't know. Just making sure.
The people finally got 10 songs. They told me we did 9 last week, so that's on me. But we can't. They're going to have to wait a day longer than usual for the podcast this next week, too, because we're going to do it on Sunday instead of Saturday. We got to do 10 songs. Nico Darunia has the question. What video game soundtrack makes you the most nostalgic? There's a good one.
Golden Axe. Toe Jam and Earl.
Bum, ba, bum,
Super Mario
bum, bum,
Brothers
bum, bum,
2.
bum, bum.
That beginning.
This is
Oh,
tough.
you're back to Golden Axe, not Mario. Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah. Those horrible screams. For me, one of the nostalgic ones is Legend of the Mystical Ninja, because I had moved my little tiny, like rabbit ears TV into my bedroom at that point, and that was the first game I played on there, and I felt so awesome. And I remember thinking the music in that game was so good that I just turn it on and just let the music play for a little bit. So anytime I hear that soundtrack, it brings me back to that memory. GoldenEye soundtrack is very nostalgic for me because I remember hearing that pause music for so long, because you'd play 2 hours of multiplayer and it's okay, I gotta pee, I gotta eat something, everybody get up for 20 minutes and do something.
Go eat Doritos.
And you wouldn't turn the game off, you'd leave it on the pause screen and hear that song, and then so that's very nostalgic for me.
Funny.
Parappa, anything from Parappa brings me back to
crack
when we were first dating,
and you're yeah, I want to date this weirdo,
and it was summer, and I can taste Snapple Rain and Soapy Power.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Making out is cool, but Chop Chop Master Onion is teaching me a really hip rap right now.
And we were doing both.
Never during video games. How dare you say that?
No, never.
There was another one I had before you said that.
Sorry.
What was it? The PlayStation 1 startup noise is very nostalgic for me. Because that was there's something about a disc-based system. I was this is crazy.
You felt like you're going into outer space every time. It was awesome. It was
that's a top tier startup noise. And
that's
look at how far we've
startup
come
noise. I wish every
downwards
system had that noise.
That's at least top 3 favorite for me. The Dreamcast one is really good for me, and it's such a cool vibe. Just the boom, bing, boom, boom, boom. That I love that one. But PS1, PS2, I like. It's nostalgic certainly, but not as much. The that whole the towers of the memory card and all that.
Yeah.
GameCube is obviously nostalgic for me. Startup noises we're talking about, but there was a game.
The Wii connecting to the internet noise.
Oh yeah.
Because I fell asleep after we had spent a night sleeping on the streets of the city.
Yeah.
I we brought it home and I was hooking it up and trying to get it to connect to the internet, and I fell asleep waiting and woke up to that same sound.
Oh man, I had another game that was it was Tetris Attack, because I played a ton of that with my mom, and I remember that music really well, so it brings me back to playing against my mom. What do you mean on the sax? What was that?
That was Tetris, but
oh yeah, Tetris. Whatever Tetris Party or whatever that was. You're right. I forgot about that. MomBrain, any others for you that are nostalgic?
One particular song. Probably all of. And I've been playing games longer than this, but one of the most nostalgic for me is probably Super Mario 64's music, especially the game, the select screen when it's great
song.
That song is just really does something in an Namoya way to me. Well, I guess not in an actual way, because I'm so sentimental for it, but
Hi, Stovers Corbin.
That whole soundtrack, and
it's a great song. Yeah, I used to listen to that one a lot.
Yeah, that's stuff that sticks out. But there's so many. All those. if I hear something, or like you guys were saying before, like a little sound bite from a particular game, like I can hear Kung Fu's kicks and punches like they're yesterday, and like that noise when you make contact and they just fall off the screen.
Yep.
I'll never forget those noises.
Highly and Tom says SimCity for the Super Nintendo makes them nostalgic. Bubble Bobble Music says Khufu the Mummy. Ice Climber says Storbus Corvin. Hi, Freddy Fro. Good to see you. Tentavision says it's the Wi-Fi connecting music for Pokemon Gen 4 that makes them nostalgic. Highly and Tom says, I love that podcast. Are you guys waiting in line in New York? Good memories. I remember hating that podcast, but that's usually how it goes. If I hate something that I have made, people usually like it. So I found that to be the case. We also have a Patreon question. MomBrain, did you know you could join a Patreon?
For $1.
Thank you, Billy. Yurt Packer asks, if you could do an interview with any Nintendo character, who would it be and what would you ask them? Sebastian Toot. The man's a mystery. I need to know more. We saw him that one time in Wii Music and we haven't heard from him since. It makes me sad. I don't think we have. Maybe he's popped up in something else.
He's not the conductor
maybe he did.
from Tears of the Kingdom, is he?
No, he's the conductor in Wii Music.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not. They didn't bring him over to Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, that guy, the conductor that's in Tears. No, they're different people.
I don't remember Wii Music. I didn't play too much of it, so I don't remember Sebastian Toot too well.
He was the guy that taught you how to do everything, and I do think he was in something else if I think about it. I just want to learn more about the guy. Tingle would be a great interview because he's such a weirdo. Come on, you want to ask Tingle all kinds of questions.
Tingle will be a good interview.
Looking around to see.
I'm thinking I would interview one of my islanders, like Roald, maybe.
Why don't you come back, MomBrain? We miss you.
So, Animal Crossing expert. So I have a question for you. Well, what are night clowns, and do I have to be scared of them? Because I'm thinking, like, I really want to eventually play this Animal Crossing.
I don't know that I've ever encountered. I might have, and no.
Because apparently, whenever your people leave the island, the other people who come in are like, they left because they were scared of the night clowns or something. I don't know. It sounds crazy.
I mean,
is that not true?
I'm looking it up now. I don't know if it's true. I see an NPC saying he said he was already thinking about moving away because of all the night clowns. Yeah. I don't know if this is real or not. I know a lot of Animal Crossing lore. I don't know this, but my knowledge is lacking in recent years. It could be just something people are making their villagers say, because they will ask you, be like, you can have your villagers say certain things. So I'm not sure I believe this right now, but it is a big trend online.
Scary.
The Easter Bunny, not a night clown.
Easter Bunny. Zipper is
scary.
Not meant to be scary, but he's a freak.
Yeah, he's scary. No, Zipper's scary.
Yeah, I don't know that this is the real deal.
Well, I will check my sources.
Maybe somewhere along the way, some villager did talk about having nightmares about night clowns or something, but it's not anything you see in the game. It's never there.
Okay.
You're safe. Any characters you guys want to interview?
Man, there's so many. Any video game character has to be a Nintendo character.
I think it was any video game character. No, it was Nintendo character.
The bug girl from Zelda.
Agatha?
Yeah. That'd be a wild ride.
Keep that weirdo away from me. No way.
Yeah.
I'll talk to Mallow.
Be a good one.
Mallow doesn't have time to talk to you. He works too much.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, I've said all the ones I want. Got everybody.
What about what's his name from Zelda? The sailor guy.
Oh, Linebeck?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I like the guy. I don't know what questions I'd ask him, but I'll talk to him. You know who I talked to? Wart. Because I guess I would finally find out if he's real or not.
Yeah, where have you been all these years?
Yep. Might be hard to pin him down for that interview, but that's my top choice without a doubt. Wart. Thank you for the question, Yurt Packer. Now, let us do music. Gonna eat the hell out of those mozzarella sticks.
You want to hear it? You want to hear it? Oh.
Before we get to music, I do have some bad game descriptions from the one and only Autumnal Blake.
Nice. Okay, let's not overthink these.
There are 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Ready?
Ready.
Let's begin. Furry twink plays with Beyblade and spiky yo-yo. Not porn.
Furry
Final
Tomba?
Fantasy.
No and no.
A Tomba's not a twink. All right. Furry twink. Go on.
Plays with Beyblade and spiky yo-yo. Not porn.
This sounds like I should get this right away. But I got nothing.
Spiky yo-yo.
Rygar is what I think it was Spiky Yo-Yo, but
Nice.
it's not Rygar.
No.
Oh, yep. This is the answer.
Oh.
Tentavision's got to have it. He says Twilight Princess.
Yes.
Yeah. Link is a furry. He's got the spinner top Beyblade that you ride on. Yeah, that very good. Very good. Twink is the only part I might take issue with, but everything else fits perfectly.
Huh.
He's not small enough to be a twink, like slight
Twink
enough?
usually means like skinnier than
Yeah.
Link, and Link's got, you know.
Oh, and because I was thinking, and hairy twink, I guess, because he turns into
Furry.
a wolf.
the furry, yeah.
Like as in, yeah.
And the yo-yo is the ball and chain.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. We should have gotten that.
The second one is small man struggles with big balls.
Small man struggles with big balls. Katamari Damacy?
Yes.
Hey.
Nice.
The next one is trans girl gets high.
Celeste.
Well done. And the final submission from Autumnal Blake. You put things in your hole and it gets bigger.
Donut County?
Yes.
There we
Wow.
go, baby.
Well done.
Better this week. I did better this week. Fell apart last week.
Did you I did better, he says.
I did, yeah.
I heard that.
I'm only going to speak for myself. I'm not going to say you got or dude did worse.
Maybe you could say we.
I didn't think he did bad last week. You guys are inferring so much. I'm only speaking about myself.
Okay. Well, please stop kicking me.
Sorry, I need to stretch.
Oh yeah, this is so hard.
I need to stretch. God, it's always about you.
We need to stretch. The royal way.
Thank you.
This one comes from Mikey3319.
All right.
Indiana Jones.
Yes,
Nice.
it is Indiana Jones' Greatest Adventures for the Super Nintendo.
I'm officially
Cool.
keeping track of total songs and wins this time. I'm writing them down so I won't get it wrong.
Oh, okay.
I'm growing my hair back, people.
This one comes to us from For Hentump.
What system?
Super Nintendo.
I don't know. Hook.
No,
Final Fantasy.
no.
Breath of Fire.
My lady. No.
Dragon Quest.
Robin
Secret
Hood.
of
It's a secret, all right.
movie?
Yeah, but not exclusively.
Still around?
Yep.
Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Really? There's a Lord of the
Yes.
Rings Super Nintendo game?
Yeah.
J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings Volume 1.
I've seen it. I've never played it.
I bet you it's really good.
I mean, it looks really good. It was an RPG, apparently. Here comes a song from Jess I.
Spooky.
By the way, send your music to goninpod@gmail.com. Please put music in the title. We can only do 10 songs a week if we have songs to do. System, please.
Switch.
Limbo.
No.
The other one.
Inside was the other one.
Inside.
No.
How about Ori?
No.
How about is it first party? Doesn't sound it.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
We don't know.
You do. It's Hollow Knight.
Why do we always miss Hollow Knight?
Well, I've never really played that much of it.
Why do I always miss Hollow Knight?
Because we should just say it right here. It's an overrated game. We'll rewind a little bit. I don't know why you don't.
I stayed silent just to see what you would do on that one. Because obviously I don't agree. But
This song comes from Nintendo.
this is a Game Boy or Game Boy Color?
Game Boy Color, and it is crunchy.
Oh, that's something. Is this a franchise?
Mm-hmm.
This is good quality. Could be first party.
It is.
Just with what they had to work with, and it still sounds so great. It's like so charming.
There's that is something. That's a theme in a series. Or it's a play on a theme. Let's just get Pokemon out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is Pokemon trading card game.
Ah.
Man, what a great song.
It was nice.
This will be the halfway mark for songs.
This song comes from Geku Kitsune.
This is tough to place. Is this Super Nintendo?
Yes.
That bass gave it away, but really great quality.
Right? Sounds great.
Capcom game?
I don't know.
Licensed game?
Yes.
Yeah. Disney game?
No.
I'm sure it's not Disney because you look like... Okay. Cartoon?
Yes.
Still around.
Yeah.
Cartoon still around, not Disney. Existed during the Super Nintendo days.
Like a Looney Tunes thing? Maybe Tiny Toon Adventures or...
Is it Warner Brothers?
Yes.
Okay, now we got something. Bugs Bunny.
No.
Daffy Duck.
No.
Foghorn Leghorn.
No.
Sylvester. I know.
No. Really wanna...
Elmer Fudd.
No.
You really want to what?
There's something I want to say, but it's going to give it away.
Warner Brothers. Animaniacs.
Yeah.
There we
nice.
I literally almost came out of my mouth was, and the Warner sister died.
Nice.
Yeah, it was Animaniacs. The specifically the Flying Broomsticks level.
Never played it.
This one is
Back in those days, you could only play what the rental place had, and they never had Animaniacs.
this one comes from Matthew.
Beep.
And that's an ad
A beep.
for a vino.
Ooh, that's how you keep your skin.
Rub a vino on your Beano. That's a Capcom noise. Oh, this is a Capcom game.
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Then it's one of them weird Squaresoft games.
Yes.
Then it's got to be Mystic Quest.
Yes.
Man, we got there.
Good.
We got there. That is such a Capcom sound font, but there's a couple Square games out there. Never played that game, but I know the soundtrack.
Sweet of you to say we got there when that would have been a case where you could have said I got there.
Can't win either.
But no, I'm
we
saying-
can't.
This one comes from Wired.
Nice. This song scares me.
This is what plays in my head when I'm about to enter a crowd. Like this is how I feel.
Switch, I'm gonna guess.
Yeah. Reminds me of like the breakdown for the Can You Quack?
First party.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It'd be a shot in the dark. I got nothing though.
I got nothing.
Smite.
Oh, I've never. Yeah, I write about Smite all the time, and I've never played it.
I don't know.
You've been smote.
Hell, I don't know. What do I care anyway? I don't care
I don't give a
goddamn.
goddamn anyway. I'm half dead anyway.
I'm about half anyway. Okay. This one comes from Giant Reggie. Is their personal favorite Nintendo related series.
What do you mean, or? Is it Nintendo or not?
I'm not telling you.
Bowser's Fury. Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker.
No.
Kid Icarus.
No.
Fire Emblem.
No.
Star Fox.
Yes.
Yeah, baby.
S5.
So what? Jesus, I don't know what one. Zero.
No.
Armada or
No.
Assault.
Yes.
S
That was Star Fox Assault.
One day, Star Fox. One day you'll have your breakthrough title. I mean, I guess it already had it, but sad.
Yeah.
This is song number 9 coming up.
9 times.
Okie dokie. This one comes from. I don't know, so I'm not gonna.
Don't presume.
That's right.
Dead air.
Well, do something. This one comes from Turbo K.
Oh, that's familiar. That's familiar. I know this. I guess this is Switch.
Let me double check.
Pew, pew. What happened? All right.
Capcom-esque? Sounds Mega Man-ish.
You're not wrong. That there's part of the base that is Mega Man-ish. Pac-Man?
Come on, no.
It's gonna bother me. Go ahead.
Super Mega Zero.
Oh, because I listened to the soundtrack and I haven't played the game. This is our final song.
Okay. Final song.
We've got 6 out of 9 right now. For real.
We do have 6 out of 9 right now. It's true.
No joke.
Numbers don't lie.
Neither do your hips.
Oh.
All right. This last one comes to us from our friend Storbus Corbin.
Near Automata.
I believe it's Automata, is it not?
Sure.
And you're correct.
Love the music in that game.
That's right. Golgo 13.
Getting goosebumps. This has such a good soundtrack. Even if you have no interest in the game, listen to the soundtrack. Oh. Okay. There we go. Love this soundtrack. And it's over. But you're real proud of yourself right now, aren't you?
Do you hear what's pulling into the station?
I can't because it's not main line into the speaker, so
The
no.
Gravy Train. The 7 out of 9, 7 out of 10 Gravy Train.
10 songs, we got 7 correct. We did pretty damn good.
Yes, we did.
Is that the mail train? Coming.
Ruining his whole segment. Trains
God.
are my fake
Coming
thing,
to
and now
deliver?
you're...
Oh my
He's got his own jingle and everything. Well, I mean, if you have a rumor, do you have anything or no?
I do. Yeah, there's a rumor over here. It just kind of popped up right now. I didn't see it earlier. Deux Views. It's never news. Rumor of the week, starring Deux Michaels. So, ladies and gentlemen, we heard a little tidbit earlier about a possible Switch Successor dev kit.
Hi, Salam Esserling.
That found its way into Spanish studio's hands. Well, it turns out it's not Mercury Steam after all. The company is La Nintendo, and they're the Spanish studio that has leaked the Switch Successor dev kit. So, in case you were curious, we my little birds and my little spiders figured it out for us.
You know, I think I know a lot about Nintendo, and I've never even heard of this studio. Thank God you're here to get us this information.
Yes.
Also, hi, Anastasia Beaverhazen. Also, great gift for your rumors. You got some Blanche.
Love that.
Oh, rumors.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you for that, Deux. I look forward to seeing what La Nintendo does with the Switch 2. So
stupid. I mean, it's true.
It's the best. It's true.
I forgot to mention that this one's not a rumor. It's true this week, which is even more
Definitely
interesting.
True. Yeah, easily. Well, that's it, everybody. We had a tight 2-hour, 7-minute podcast this week. I liked it. I thought it was good. I thought it was a fun one. Thought we had a nice time. And there you go. Follow me on Twitter at GoNintendo Tweet. Follow me on Threads at GoNintendo Threads. Follow me on Facebook on Facebook.com/GoNintendo. Go read GoNintendo.com. Patreon.com/GoNintendo, where you can join for $1. And I haven't even written the Patreon post today because I'm a
$1
scam. Here's my plan. I want to watch the first episode of that Spider-Man, that Superman show, and then share my thoughts on that because I'm very excited for it.
There's no train ad.
We'll
this
talk
week?
about that later, huh?
No train ad. No choo-choo train ad.
Today is the last day of the train sponsorship, Railway Empire 2. But it involved 2 plugs on the podcast. We did the 2 already. So here's a third bonus one. But yeah, tomorrow, nice kufu. Tomorrow is back to regular old Google ads and all that jazz. So
wait, I saw a very funny commercial this week. Do you want me to save it for the after show?
Oh, what a teaser. That's horrible. Yeah, I know, but I don't want to do that to the audio listeners and be like, sorry, you got to go. Can you say what the commercial is and then we'll talk about it in detail?
It's a BJ's ad.
Oh, and we're definitely ending on that. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
everybody.
Goodbye. All right, go right ahead.
So I believe it was on Pluto TV, and it's a bunch of people in an elevator, and a guy beefs, and then he goes, "Speaking of, do you know gas prices are really low
No
at BJ's?"
way.
Oh.
It's pretty great.
So
Man.
have either of you guys gotten that guy on TikTok? I don't know if he's autistic, but he certainly seems like he's autistic.
Jack
And I
Snacks?
don't I was gonna say it's a guy that eats. He goes around to restaurants and rates the food.
Oh no.
Oh no,
Okay.
I don't know that.
So a different guy. He talks like this. I'm gonna go to this restaurant and see what they're. And he was doing like pizza tests for a long time, but now he's branched out into restaurants and other eateries. And he went to BJ's and was reviewing what their cafeteria, what they have, because they offer a Costco-esque food lineup. As far as what you can buy
50-cent
there
hot
and
dogs.
eat at the cafeteria, hot dogs and all that stuff. But he was like, he had 2 giant slices of pizza, a churro, a hot dog, and like a massive drink. And he was like, "How much do you think this was?" $7.50. I mean, I know it's the same, if not less, at Costco, but I'm just like the pizza slice was the size of the man's head,
Man.
and I'm like, this is such a if I don't mean this in a bad way. If you're poor,
If
like,
you were homeless,
everybody's
you'd be
poor.
eating there every day.
Everybody,
basically, is
yes,
what you'd-
you could get so much food for such a little amount of money. But the deal is, do
You gotta have a Costco.
do you
card.
have to have a card to go buy the food?
I don't think,
Because if
you
you're just ordering a
used to,
pizza,
but I think that they're starting to crack down on like not letting you inside. Like, there's always somebody at the door like looking at the card, but nobody ever does anything about it.
Yeah.
But I think I just saw an article about how they're
I
going
thought
to
I
crack
saw
down.
something too. This is really funny. 10 Division says it's a guy that eats that really narrows it down. You're right. So it's a guy on TikTok and he eats. Yeah, like I said, the best thing I can say is he seems like he might be autistic. That might be wrong, but I gave you his cadence and told you what he used to do. So maybe you can find him. I'm gonna try these 5 frozen pizzas to see which one is the best. And I don't know. I don't follow the guy, but he comes up on my feed a lot, and I always watch him. He went to, oh my God, you know where he went the other day?
Solid Master Link wants to know if he's a young man in a suit. Isn't that
No, it's
You-
not Reviews on the Run. I know that guy. Reviews on the Run. He went to one of the last standing Ponderosas in the States.
They're still
And he's like, I know Ponderosa gets a bad rap, but I really like some of their food. And he reviewed a whole bunch of things. And he did review some things really well, but afterwards he had like a little debrief, and he's like, it's not as good as I remember, but it's still not as bad as people
But is
think.
anything as good as you remember
Yeah. That
ever?
and like, there's a reason they're killing
Food-wise?
off the Ponderosas.
Is there anything as good as you remember?
Nostalgia-wise,
Yeah,
like-
the Pizzone. Pizzone hasn't changed at all.
Well, it's probably the
I mean,
same
I
pizzones.
love eating pizzones, but they don't taste as good as they did when I was younger. But that's just because that's how it is.
You have a older man's palate now.
I have an old man's
Dead
everything.
taste buds.
Old
there's-
man's everything.
I like Pizza Hut. Doesn't taste as good as it used to. I still love Pizza Hut, but you can't go from
That
like
chewy cheese.
actually making the
Squeak.
dough in the place and the piles of cheese to like the pizza puck that they spread crap on. I still like it. I would say I still love it, but it's not nearly as good. Yeah, I used to talk about this all the time with MomBrain. I used to go to, when I lived, not where I live now, but still in Jersey, there's a Pizza Hut that was very close, and I used to go there quite often with my grandma, and we used to get just a pan pizza and a pitcher of soda. And my grandma used to be like, this is just wonderful. This pizza is wonderful. She used to say wonderful all the time. What?
And
What else?
the other word, the other adjective.
What?
Marvelous.
Marvelous.
Grandma Myrtle used the word marvelous all the time, and nobody really uses it anymore. Like, nobody is like, oh, that's marvelous. But she just
She's regular Miss Maisel.
she applied it very, very appropriately at all times.
And she used to say it about Pizza Hut, and I used to think, you know what, Grandma, you're right. That and the breadsticks. Whew, holy crap. Good stuff. All right. let's get out of here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Play some games. Hang out with friends and family. Rest. Relax. You deserve it. Enjoy your weekend. And we'll see you again on Sunday, people. On Sunday. Goodbye. Thanks for stopping by.
Goodbye.